What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it is time to talk about Dragon Ball Super Episode 43. This episode of Dragon Ball Super wasn't really a mixed bag, but it was like a bag of really good shit. Like, you're picking out, and you're like, this is really cool, this is really cool, this is really cool, and then, like, right at the last second, you just grab, like, this piece of shit, and you're like, fuck, what the fuck? This episode, it starts off with Goku not having control over his ki, which is weird. I will admit, first off, it is coming out of complete nowhere, this offset ki thing that King Kai tells him about from overexerting his ki. This has never happened to him before. Nothing like this has ever happened to anybody in the series before. Now, granted, no one's ever done Kaioken combined with Super Saiyan God before, but still, it's weird. But unlike another series that did something really weird like this works better because it actually gets focused on. See, in the Fairy Tail series, for those of you who don't read it, the main character, and it's kind of a spoiler, but don't read fucking Fairy Tail. It's not worth it if you haven't read it. The main character gets dragged into a room in one of the somewhat more recent chapters, and they're like, oh, he has a fucking anti-magic tumor thing in him. 400 chapters in, after a constant overexertion of magic power in the series, suddenly he has this anti-magic tumor inside of him. It makes no fucking sense. And, okay, whatever. So he has that. And then literally, I want to say like 2, maybe 3 pages later, it gets fixed and he's just lying in bed resting. That quick. It was completely irrelevant. It made no sense. It came out of nowhere. It was garbage. Here, though, it comes out of nowhere. It's really random and we've never heard anything about it. But it gets some focus. King Kai tells him about overexerting himself in combat. He might never be able to fight anymore. It felt to me like they were treating this very seriously, too, when you see Goku's expression and his reaction, and when he's talking to Piccolo on the roof about feeling like an old grandpa, and, just how much fighting really means to Goku, just, in terms of his identity, and as something he just loves to do. It's not a matter of him being selfish and, like, not wanting to take care of, like, his granddaughter, which, of course, that's not his job, but he's doing it now because he can't control his ki. And, yeah, it was a cool conversation they had. And the rest of the episode's just adorable. I mean, Pan is fucking adorable. The Pilaf gang is kind of cute. Not really Pilaf himself. I mean, he honestly looks the same as he fucking used to. The other two are kind of cute, though. And just because they're little kids and, like, pretty much just all kinds of cuteness all around from, like, a lot of characters. A Raleigh, because it got blindsided with that Raleigh cameo, which was really, really cool. So the cameos were pretty cool, especially that one. I liked Goku's conversations with Piccolo. Piccolo was cool, too. Him walking... I thought it would have been nice when he was walking away after telling them all the instructions for Pan, because he's been babysitting, which was funny. I thought it really would have just tied the whole moment together if there was a flashback to him and Gohan. Like him giving Gohan the apple back in the day, use the old footage. I thought that would have really tied it together, but the implication is obviously there when he's taking care of Pan. You don't have to show it. I just feel like showing it would have been nice and nostalgic, kind of bring the feels. They kind of missed an opportunity there, but that's a nitpick. I'm kind of trying to avoid the ending of the episode, obviously, but I guess I got to get to it. Everything else was good. This episode was really, really good for a filler episode. The Pilaf gang was kind of funny, accidentally kidnapping her, all that stuff. The ending, though, with Pan, like... Now, I will say, just to get the good out of the way, like, not even the good, but, like, the damage control almost, where they were in space was most likely the same place Beerus and Goku fought. There's probably still oxygen. I mean, the way it's drawn, it's probably not, like, technically accurate, but I'm pretty sure Goku and Beerus were in, I don't know, like, one of the spheres. You got, like, the stratosphere and the hemisphere. One of the fucking spheres that still has some oxygen. So, I mean, maybe they could still breathe, that's fine. Her even having, like, latent potential like her dad, I think is fine. Her having power like Gohan. But to fly, like, just straight up, I mean, like, no, man. Like, you stretched too far. Like, yeah, you have latent power like your dad, but it gets to a point where it's like, okay, you mix human and Saiyan, you get, like, this... latent potential like monster that has like all this power inside. Okay, whatever. when you get to being like only a quarter Saiyan, should you really have even more? Because we know the half-breeds have more potential than full-blooded Saiyans in terms of like power early on in life. You know, we had Goten and Trunks being able to go Super Saiyan very easily. Even Gohan, he didn't learn it easily, but he still turned Super Saiyan at a really young age, and he just had all that power when he was young. Whenever you get angry, so we know half-breeds have like a boost early on in terms of power, and then I think the full-blooded Saiyans are the ones that, in the long run, end up being the stronger ones, clearly. But when it comes to fucking Pan, she's only a quarter Saiyan, and she's flying, carrying 3 people. And it's cool. I mean, she flies around. She wanted to fly around. It's kind of cute, but it's just, you jumped the shark. You stretched it too far. Even Monkey D. Luffy's like, I can't stretch that far. Like, it's just, no. So, yeah, I mean, the ending was bad, honestly. I mean, I take everything that happened in Dragon Ball Super with a grain of salt, but I mean, unless one of my subscribers, I believe it was Farah Kabadia, you thought that they were going to retcon the ending of the series, which is definitely looking more likely with Pan's birth being in a different spot and with this power she had, because I don't think she was capable of flight at the World Martial Arts Tournament when they met Oob and everything, and I don't think, if she's able to fly like this and have like an aura, which the aura is whatever, but I'm pretty damn sure she wouldn't be capable of this by the end of the series, though we don't see her do much, to be fair. So, I mean, maybe they are retconning the ending of the series, which is totally possible. And if they are retconning the end of the series, then fine. I still think it's a stretch, though, to make her able to just fly, because that's something characters have always had to learn how to do. I don't know. It was not a good ending. They stretched, they jumped the shark. Maybe jumped even 2 sharks. It was pretty crazy. Especially because, like, you know, like I said, yeah, sure, Gohan had really, really good power when he was a kid, when he got angry. Goten and Trunks were able to turn Super Saiyan. They're only half-breeds, though. She's a fucking, only like a quarter fucking, like a quarter Saiyan, right? So, like, how, it gets to the point where it's like, if there's that much human, you shouldn't still be this tenacious, fucking, like, really powerful half-breed. You know, it should be the point where you're probably weaker than the others. But I don't know. It was a funny episode. I like seeing Goku interact with Chi-Chi, because Chi-Chi actually wasn't that big of a bitch in this episode. The one time she actually got really mad at him was when the house got destroyed, which is totally fair. And then Goku, of course, showing up. Goku showing up in Bulma's house. That shit was fucking hilarious. Vegeta comes in. Oh, that shit was funny as fuck. Oh, I just remembered that scene. And then fucking laser cannons come out and shit. That was all great. Everything there was great. Next episode looks like it's going to be pretty good. Looks like a little interesting adventure episode with Goten and Trunks. A little bit of Goku action in there too, even though it looks like he still doesn't have ki control. So that'll be interesting, and how far they're going to go with this little story arc, I'm not too sure. But it should be interesting, and Monaka is going to come back into play, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a little Monaka mini arc. I doubt it. It'll probably just be another filler episode, and then we'll probably get into the next arc, which apparently has to do with Future Trunks and Black Goku or some weird shit like that. It sounds weird at first, the Black Goku thing, so they'll definitely have to go into that more, but anyways, enough of this review. Like I said, it's a bag of good stuff that you're pulling out, and then you just get that piece of shit at the end, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck? But honestly, the good stuff in this episode, the characterization on Goku, the comedy, the cuteness, the cameos, all that stuff was absolutely great. And I think all of that stuff outweighs the ending, but the ending I think is still pretty stupid and pretty shark jumping, and just, even for Dragon Ball, I think they went too far. So I really only can give the episode around a 7 to 7.5 out of 10, which is still a good, overall good rating. It's an overall good episode, a solid episode, but at the same time, it would have been like probably a 6 or even lower, maybe not lower than a 6, if it didn't have all that good stuff in it. But it did. And Piccolo was funny too. And yeah, it was just overall a good episode. I think this is the first time we've had like 3 filler episodes in between arcs. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but because I don't really count the ones where Goku and Vegeta talk to Beerus about training. I don't really count those as like filler episodes, because those involved them trying to get Beerus to train them. Or I mean Whis to train them. So, you know, those are not really, I wouldn't really say filler. But I think this is the first time we've had like 3 filler episodes, you know? Well, I mean, the last episode was just kind of a wrap-up party, and yeah, whatever. It don't matter how many they do, because these are always good episodes. Like I said, except for the ending, I thought this episode was really good. The animation was solid. The pacing was really, really good. Music choices were all fine. From a technical standpoint, it was a really solid episode. And in terms of story progression, I mean, in terms of overall story progression for the story, I guess you could say Pan showed potential, but I mean, is it really even a good thing? But I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section below about all this. And, yeah, and about the whole Goku key thing, I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about that one too. But what did you guys think of this episode of Dragon Ball Super? You can tell me in the comment section below. Also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. You can also give this video a thumbs up, share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.